Hank,
Yes.
hear me? He's on with the White House.
Good. Good. Well, perfect. Well, Kim, are you ready
Sorry.
Kim, are you ready to wrap it all? No, wrap it all. No, it's okay. That doesn't bother me.
I apologize. I did not have a Zoom until a few minutes ago. I was deleted from Zoom.
You were deleted from Zoom.
I was deleted from Zoom.
These
So I apologize.
bastards, I swear. Okay, so where are you? Let me just check here. So you have no Zoom, or are you on camera? Oh, there you are. Okay, hang on one second. I'm just gonna highlight you there. There you go. Ah, that's nice, Joe side. That's good. It feels nice. It's a good vibe. Good vibe.
Yeah. Well, I was a little bit frustrated with Zoom, so I came out. Thought I'd get a Zen moment.
Frustrated with Zoom, so I came out. Thought I'd get a Zen moment.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Okay, so I just wanted to touch on a couple things that you mentioned earlier about the plan, and because last week when we were expecting our announcements from the White House on the student loan, it was last week. We were expecting our announcements on the student loans and on the machines and all of these other things. The issue that we had was obviously we didn't have the announcements we were looking for, and when we questioned them, and their response was trust the plan. So not really sure what plan it is. When we asked what's the plan, they had no answer. So I don't know if they know what the plan is, but there's a plan. Somebody has one, and we're all supposed to trust it. So we'll get into that in just a few minutes. Okay, so they're calling, still been calling about money. They're trying to pass the stimulus bill, and we're trying to push through our funds in 2 other countries and also in Morgan banks. We now have several things at play. And we're waiting for answers on those, hopefully on Monday and Tuesday. It is only a holiday here in the United States. It's not a holiday everywhere else, so hopefully we'll have that answer soon. Now to go back to what Tank was discussing earlier. A lot of these projects started with Project Looking Glass and another project called Project Paperclip. Project Looking Glass is a technology that was afforded to the Society and the Black Sun, designed to give them a peek into. It was given to them by a third-party entity, and they had been using it for a while. They have certain scenarios that were seen in Project Looking Glass, and they're called or referred to in the alternative media as the timelines for the potential plans. So what they saw was not necessarily certain dates or anything like that. What they were actually seeing was a sequence of events that would take place in order to achieve the end objective at the end of that specific timeline. You've heard people talk about the negative timeline, the positive timeline, and there are several variations of each one. So they have learned that if they can adjust these events, or think that if they could adjust these events to fit one of these scenarios, which is their ultimate outcome, that they will be successful with the end result, which is them basically taking over the whole world. They have afforded themselves something called the Adjustment Bureau. That's what I call them, because they run around basically making adjustments all the time, trying to help a certain person become a head of state, or staging a pandemic. There's another one of those in store for us, from what I understand. I did some checking into some things that was sent by our team, and they want to make those adjustments so that the ultimate end goal takes place. So Project Paperclip was all a part of this, where they brought in the scientists from Project Paperclip, which were the scientists that were working during the Holocaust and in the other camps. I honestly feel like we are in a global Holocaust at this moment in time with all the experimenting that's going on. So with Project Paperclip, all of these German scientists that were working formerly in Germany for the same people have now relocated to the United States and have been working in the United States. One of the base families, if you were to trace back in a family tree, one thing we discovered last week was a Von Keef family. And the Von Keef family is a very old family name, goes back a couple thousand years, but it all ties to the same group of people. And there are many different names like your Scherfs, which are now Bushes, and a lot of other names that you'll recognize when you see it. So we've been doing a little bit of research into this, and this goes back to one of the original fights that were discussed in the past between the Rus, where you had the white sun and the black sun, and they would fight against each other. The Von Keefs or Von Kefs or Kievs, which is the original name, where the original name of the capital city of Ukraine comes from, is Kiev. It also comes from the same last name. So that gives you a general idea of the origin of the black sun. So now it's no longer just from this particular area. It goes all the way back to the time of Solomon, and a lot of different interesting twists and turns along the way, but they also have a plan. So we're not really sure what plan anyone is following. The only thing I can tell you is that in our research, we have discovered that Trump had an uncle who was part of this program when he came over from Germany. So you can look that up. It's John is the guy's name, not his original last name, but he was took a part in this original program. So I just thought you'd find that interesting. So we're still trying to find out what plan it is everybody's following, and there appears to be more than one. I can tell you from our standpoint, we are following the restoration plan, which is a plan that I know very well because I wrote it. So it's been accepted with a couple of little caveats from a few other people and some of the others that live here. So we're excited for Life Force because that is an intricate part, as Tank stated earlier, of the restoration plan. So I was not on last weekend's call because I was having long conversations with, I would say, about the fourth in charge of the Black Sun, who called asking me all kinds of questions last week. So when it came to light on several different conversations about what is the plan, what is going on with Project Paperclip, how CODIS is involved with the distribution of this virus, why they would patent a virus, Jen has put very eloquently last week and this week. Why would they put it as registered in England when it was created here in the United States? And what is coming next? So several members of Life Force have contacted us this week about a potential pathogen involved in food distribution, not only here in the United States, but also in other countries. The answer to the question is it is tied to this potential Scorpio virus or scorpion virus that they talk about. They are trying to implement this program where they're putting this with all our food, our vegetables, frozen, that survive freezing apparently. So until we can find out exactly what the pathogen is, I was told that it prohibits cellular regeneration, weakens the immune system, and severely affects the liver and the pancreas. So I'm trying to find out the exact pathogen and what we can actually do about it and try to see where it's coming from. I just got this information over this morning, so we'll do the best we can to keep you informed. But until then, please make sure that you wash and cook all of your food very well until we can find the answer, the solution, where it's coming from. Although we already know where it's coming from, this is a part of the Project Paperclip family, now known as CODIS over there in Virginia. So we're just trying to find out distribution points and launching points and what their plan is. Okay, so my conversation last week with the Black Sun was almost 4 hours. They happened to call on Sunday. They asked a lot of questions about these potential, I call them papas and mamas and grandpas and different Asian people, preferably elderly. Yeah, grandfathers and whatnot. And I explained to them what had happened. I explained to them how this all came to be. They asked lots of questions about Black Sun and why is that come to origin and who are these others, what the programs are, because a lot of them don't actually know. So after that happened, we got lots of questions. That was when I learned about the tie to family and Project Paperclip. Now, we're not saying that Trump is involved. We don't even know what plan it is everybody's talking about. We just know that that is a plan, and it is being discussed. No one's giving us an answer as to what trust the plan means at this moment. And gave another variation, which is very similar to this other plan. So I'm not sure. We're not sure at this moment, so we're still doing some research and trying to find out what the plan is, which I hope Tom will get an answer on his call, since, of course, they're only calling about money. So as soon as we get ours, you'll get yours, because obviously we can't even trust you to stand on television and say 4 lines. I have a deep concern about this, because why are they not announcing about the machines? Why are they not announcing about student loan payoffs? Why are they not announcing any of these things on television? They should have. It would have been great for the election. They kept pushing us off every day with something new, after the RNC, after this, after that, but we've got nothing. So, which concerns me about what plan it is everybody has going on. So that I'm supposed to be trusting here. We're all supposed to be trusting. But we have our own plans, and we're all going to be moving forward on our own. We don't need those people. They can choose to stay. They can choose to go. That is their choice. They can trust their own plan. We're going to trust ourselves to go forward. So there is the story about where I was last week. We did have a number of defectors or potential defectors from the Black Sun once they found out what's really going on. So that may or may not be good. We're running a couple of things right now together to see how that goes, if they can be trusted, see if they have our mutual best interests at heart as humans. So we'll see what comes of that. So for this week, we have one of the banks, JP Morgan Chase, said they're going to come on board. We'll see what they do. We did leave those funds there. See if we can get them cleared. As soon as they are cleared, the White House will get their money, not a minute before. And we do have to spend $1. So if we can, it's great that the money is in our account, but we need to be able to go down and spend some of the money on things that we want. We are arguing a little bit about the restrictions, different things that they're trying to do, trying to put in place. But hopefully we can work it out. We'll know on Tuesday. They were supposed to finish this on Saturday. It turns out they got a little bit confused as they tried to use the codes, the clearing codes that I gave them, and deposit the money into other people's accounts. Tried to divert the funds to other locations. Tried to only clear part of the funds. So hopefully they're less confused now, with a couple of days off and a little bit of rest. And maybe they'll come back on Tuesday with a whole nother ideas.